Hey guys, T2 out here. Welcome back to the Top Preparedness channel. There is a plague, there is an epidemic affecting preppers who build get-home bags, who build these bags designed to get them home. You see, for this video we are talking about the get-home bag fallacy. We are explaining what it is and how to fix it. I also want to bring this up to get you thinking, is your bag, the bag designed to get you home during a disaster, built on logic or on fallacy? So to start this video off, let's answer what is a fallacy, straight from Google. It is a mistaken belief, especially one based on unsound arguments. Now, how does this affect a get-home bag? How does this affect preppers? You see, I've watched many get-home bag videos. And a lot of people will say, well, usually if I'm not home, I'm at work. Between work and home, I spend the most amount of time. The average American lives about 20 miles away from work, but from what I've seen in a lot of these videos, people are talking about a 5-mile drive, a 10-mile drive to work. So they build bags based on that 5 to 10-mile drive. So what do you need to walk home 5 miles? Probably not a lot. I've seen people throw a bottle of water and a pack of crackers in and call it a day. But I don't know about you guys, I go more places than just work and home. My work is 20 miles away. My gun store is 30 miles away. My fishing spot is 40 miles away. My hunting spot is 50 miles away. So what happens when you build a 5-mile bag and you have to walk 50 miles? Or let's say it's the average, right? Let's say it's that 20-mile range. You build a 5-mile bag. You put a bottle of water and a pack of crackers. Sure, you don't need water for 3 days and you don't need to eat for 21 days according to some people. That might be true. But today it was 101 degrees outside. It was humid as all get out. Am I going to need to drink water? Yes. Maybe not for survival, maybe not to stay alive, but to cool my body and to replenish my body and to prevent me and my body from shutting down. Yes, I will need water. And a 20-ounce bottle of water when walking home 20 miles is not going to do it. Let's talk about food for a second. How much food do you need to walk home? Well, to walk home 5 miles, probably not that much, right? A little pack of crackers, a little snack bar, you should be good to go. But what about 20 miles? You don't need food for 3 weeks to survive, but now we're putting in calories. Now we're burning calories moving forward. How many calories are you going to burn in a 20-mile walk home? More than a pack of crackers, more than a snack bar, more than a Cliff Bar. You're going to need some actual food, and sure, you might not perish for 3 days, but on day 2, on day 3, you're not going to feel like moving because you're starving. And your body eventually begins to break down. And the more stress you put on it, such as being in an event where you actually have to walk home, the physical walking part and walking in the hottest day of the year is a lot of stress on a body. So how much food do you need? A lot more than a pack of crackers. Now, I know what you're thinking, well, I can walk pretty fast. The average human walks about 2 miles per hour, so in a 5-mile situation, I'm only out on the road for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. It's not going to matter that much. But the reason you're walking home is because you can't drive home. The reason you're having to left foot in front of the right is because some event, some situation has happened where you can no longer physically drive. You think you're just going to walk down the center line of the road going home? You're talking about a tornado just took out a bridge. You're talking about an earthquake just destroyed the town, but you think that 5-mile journey is going to be a straight line back to your house? You're going to take detours. You're going to take exits. You're going to go around in circles for 2-3 hours before you find the right path that can actually lead you out of the dangerous situation. When a tornado hit the town next door, it took me 35 minutes to get to my grandma's house. Usually, it takes me 10. Because the roads were blocked, because her entryway was blocked, because I had to park a mile down the road and walk to check in on her, because those roads were completely blocked. They weren't allowing traffic, but you think it's a straight path, 5 miles is going to take 2 hours. So again, let's push that number. 30, 40, 50 miles. I go more places than work and home. I can be upwards of 50, 60 miles away from home, and my bag is always in my car. And if you've seen my bag, you've probably thinking, well, that's a pretty big bag. That bag is built on a 50-mile radius. That bag is built for a multi-day walk home. And I have tested that bag. I have done trips with that bag. I have used that bag in the woods on the hardest section of the Foothills Trail. Why? Because that is the toughest trail around here. And if I can do that with that bag, then walking on the road shouldn't be a problem. But that bag is built on a multi-day adventure. Because I understand the idea of a get-home concept. I understand that if I'm walking home, it's because of a dangerous situation. It's because I can't drive my vehicle. Now there's a huge question out here for those people that build get-home from work specifically bags. Do you go anywhere besides work and home? Do you go up to the store that's 10 miles away? Do you go visit family that's 20? Do you go out to the lake that's 30? Because if you do, your bag is built on fallacy. If you have a 5-mile bag and your plan, your whole idea behind this bag is if something happens, it's going to happen while I'm 5 miles away because I'm be at work. That is the wrong idea. That is the wrong theory. You see, I'd rather be over-prepared than under-prepared. And I'm not telling you how to prep. I believe in prep your own prep. But answer me this question. Is your bag ready for a 30-mile trip? Is your bag ready for a 40-mile trip? Because if not, you fall into the fallacy. If not, you need to rethink your entire logic. The average human walks 2 miles per hour. So let's say you're actually 10 miles from work. You take 5 hours to walk home. That's still a pretty decent amount of time. That is still a decent amount of time if it's scalding hot outside or if it's freezing cold outside. What happens when the sun goes down and it gets dark? Do you have a flashlight? Do you have a headlamp? What happens when you come into town and there's a detour and it sends you 10 miles that way to go back that way? Now what happens instead when you're at the store that's 20 miles away? Now that's a 10-hour walk. 10 hours, chances are you're spending the night somewhere. Or at least you're going to hold up for a couple hours. What if a rainstorm comes in? Are you ready for that? Are you going to bed down for the night or are you going to walk through the rain? These are the questions that you need to be asking yourself when building your get-home bag. What happens if it rains? What happens if it snows? What happens if I get where I'm going and 5 blocks away they tell me I need to turn around and go back a different route? So you've walked 15 miles, you're almost home, and they say, nope, turn around. We cannot allow any traffic this direction. Now you have to walk back home, but you also have to walk that 15 miles back. Now your one-day adventure just turned into a 2-day adventure. What if you have a friend walking with you? That 120-ounce bottle of water isn't going to last 2 people for very long. Do you have a way to filter water and refill that? There's a lot of questions that go into building get-home bags, and a lot of people are not asking those questions. Again, you prep how you want to prep, but understand I'm going to challenge it. Understand I'm going to ask to see your video of you walking 20 miles or 10 miles with your bags, because I want to see how it does for you. And if it sucks, if it's a terrible adventure, maybe you should rethink your logic, because I've done it. I've walked 20 miles with my get-home bag, and I've learned a lot. I didn't have socks. I didn't have spare underwear. I didn't have anything to prevent chafing. Did I learn from it? You betcha. So now if I'm walking 20 miles from work, if I'm walking 30 miles from the store, if I'm walking 50 miles from Cabela's, I'm ready for it. If it was a bag specifically designed to get you home from work, it would be called a get home from work bag. But it's not. It's a get home bag. Get home from wherever the hell you're at. The worst thing that could possibly happen is you walk home 5 miles with a bag that's overloaded. Big whoop. At least now you have spare gear. Congrats. Ask yourself the question, is my get home bag built on sound logic? On logic that makes sense? On logic that asks the question, what if I'm further away than I normally am? Or is it built on fallacy? Is it built on this idea that bad things are only going to happen when I'm 5 miles down the road? Because if it's this one over here, good luck. And I dare challenge you to do the Titan 10 mile challenge with your bag. And if that 1 bottle of water and the pack of crackers holds you over for 20 miles, hey, good on you. But what if you have to spend the night? What if it rains? What if it sleets? What if you have to turn around Are you ready to answer those questions? So ensure that your bag is built on sound logic and not on fallacy. Guys, that's all I got for today. Thank you for watching, and y'all stay safe out there. That's all I got. T2 out.